Coach Graf, appreciate you joining us. Just wrapped up another practice here in fall camp. Second season on staff. Not to harp on last year, but what's kind of your prep been like, being able to build off of that momentum from last year into the spring, summer, and now into the fall?
I think where it shows up most, to be honest with you, is more in recruiting. You know, I think when you have really big success on the field, guys are excited about that. They want to be involved in that, and so because of that, we're able to get, I think, a higher quality recruit. You should see some of the guys that are committed to us right now. Now, we got to hold on to them. They're great players, but I think we're able to recruit at a really high level. You know, I think that when you know, we're kind of in a situation right now where we graduated a ton in my room, and so we're kind of young, but those guys saw the foundation laid. They kind of know what it's supposed to look like, and so it's been exciting to see that process.
And Coach, what are your overall thoughts on fall camp from a product perspective? What have you seen from the 2026 line?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of urgency. I think everybody understands that, you know, Coach Carthel talked at media days, we got to be the most improved, and he's exactly right. The reason being is, you know, you got two new coordinators. You got all this new packages and new players everywhere. We got transfers, and so I think there's been a great sense of urgency. No one day has been perfect, but every day we just keep stacking as a program and getting closer and closer to where we want to be.
And Coach, a lot of preseason love for Garrett Graf, and rightfully so, considering the year that he had last year. Talk a little bit about the importance of having a guy like that anchor your offensive line, and what have you seen out of him, both his growth on the field and off the field?
Well, I tell you this, most definitely his biggest growth has been off the field. Just a quick deal about Eric, you know, going back to when I first got here to where he is now. Always been a great kid, but his maturity level has just gone through the roof. And to see his leadership grow, I mean, he is an extension of me. Half the time I'm running to go address an issue and he's beating me to it, you know, and I think that those are the things that people don't see that will show up bigger than his play, because he's only one man and he's going to have a great year for us, but what he's done from a leadership perspective has really changed us.
And Coach, looking inside your room, you mentioned a little bit about that youth that you have in your offensive line room. What have you seen kind of top to bottom from your group so far?
Yeah, well, I tell you, I think talent-wise we're more talented than we've been since I've been here. Experience-wise is a very different story, and you know, talent, you know, that can only get you so far. And so there's been a lot of growing pains. You got guys that come out and have good days, and guys that come out the next day and have a bad day, and it might not make sense. But the thing about offensive line development, it is not just this linear path, right? It is improve, regress, improve a little bit more, regress, and you have to. There's ebbs and flows, and you have to be willing to. Hell, I'm preaching to myself here. You gotta roll with the punches a little bit as you're getting them where you want to be. But these guys just keep showing up every day, and they're working. Hell, they're working right behind us right now as we're trying to get better.
And Coach, a scenario for you here. Say you walk into your offensive line room and everybody's new. It's day one. What is the message to set the tone, to set that foundation?
Yeah, well, it always starts with what our identity is. Okay, so our identity is built around three things. Violent, we got to be the most physical brand of football team up front. We've got to be able to be the most physical unit on the football team ourselves, and it always starts there. Second is detail. You got to approach every meeting, every practice, every film study with a great sense of attention to detail. And then the third, and arguably the most important thing, I've talked about this a lot, is playing for the five. You got a lot of guys, you're recruited, you're told this, that, and the other, that you're this special guy. You got to flush that mentality, and you got to make it about the five. You got to make it about everybody else, and that is always where we'll start.
And Coach, one more for you here. What's a coaching philosophy or a principle maybe that you even picked up as a player or early on in your coaching career that you've kind of carried with you to this day?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many different things. You have an arsenal of different topics that you can go with, different sayings you can go with depending on what your room needs at that moment. And that can change from day to day. You know, I think half of my job is to be a daily motivational speaker, a guy that can come in, and it's hard to come out day in and day out and go get better. And so I think it's my job to try to rally those troops. One theme that we kind of have gone into this year with, just given our lack of experience in the room, is we got to do more with less. Okay, we got to go out and we have to find a way to improve and do even more than we did last year with less experience, maybe with less bodies. You know, with roster cuts, we don't have as many guys in the room. How can we do more with less? And so that has kind of been our mentality this whole fall camp.
Coach Graf, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Axum.